Alright, Fearless Mods fans, back by no demand whatsoever is the Trans Am. So it's still got the miss going on in it, and so I'm going to try a few different things. I have some sensors to put in there. I'll go over them here in a minute, but I've got about 4 of them, and I'm going to do them one at a time. So I'm going to get in here and start looking for those and replacing them and doing a few test drives in between each one and see if any of those can hopefully help fix our problem of the mist that just will not go away on this car. We got a air charge temperature sensor. So this is a different problem. I keep getting a low coolant level indication, and so this is in the bottom of the tank, and so I'm just going to replace it. This one is idle air control assembly. I think this last one will be the temperature sensor. Thought being that if there's something going on with temperatures or air or mixtures, that could be doing some things under acceleration that are maybe okay at idle, but once you start to give it a little bit of throttle, it doesn't like it until you just go to wide open throttle, which probably bypasses a lot of everything. We'll go in the order here from the easiest to the hardest. So here's the air temperature sensor. Pulls out like that, and we'll just pop a new one in and clip it on. So that'll be number 1, easiest to do. Number 2 will then be the big sucker down in here, which is the air, that mixture sensor, whatever it was I called that thing. Number 3 is down below the bottom right of the water pump there, so I'll move all this stuff and get down in there to see it and replace it. But that would be the water temperature sensor. Alright, so we've already pulled it out right here. It's gonna be one of the easiest replacements ever. Fairly similar to the old one. Not really any indication for why it could be malfunctioning, but regardless, we're going to replace it. Pop that in there. Like so. And repair number 1 is complete. Let's go take it for a test drive. Still no codes tripping. The air charge temperature sensor didn't do it. But rather than letting cost be the driver for how I tackle this, I'm going to just do them like I said originally, 1, 2, 3 by ease of getting to them, and then just view it as a sunk cost. So whatever goes in, if it fixes it, great. We'll drive it one at a time, but otherwise it stays in and we move on to the next one. Our next one's going to be that air mixture valve here. So not directly temperature related, but who knows how the ECM is viewing all of that. What I'm trying to do is get to the bottom screw on this sensor here. I had to undo this bolt and this bolt from the alternator and that one so that I could rotate this back. I'm just trying to get stuff out of the way here. I just rotated the clamp around on this hose here to give me some room. I'll just want to make sure I remember to rotate it back so that when it's all put together, it can still be taken off without having to remove the alternator. The hard part is getting to the bottom side of that and not burning the crap out of myself in this hot engine. Note to self, I was totally mistaken on that whole concept of ease of access, because clearly this one here I would have already had out and replaced by now. It goes click, click. One ratchet tooth.
That's why we should spend $180 on that toothless ratchet.
Right. Yeah, then I'd be getting about 1/8 of a turn. If you see it and it's aluminum, it burns. This. Got it. Good gosh almighty. Definitely some crap going on there. That is dirty, sludged. Who knows what kind of condition. I feel like I need to spray down in there. Right there is the hole where that is. And so what I'm going to do
here with some math cleaner and just kind of look at it boiling off of there. Gotta get in there and see what we can clean out. So assuming that goes up in, yeah, you can see how dirty that is coming out of there. I am going to take just a light film of oil, motor oil, and just put on there so that that rubber seal can seat. So by the way, I had failed to mention that is a T20. Two-finger method burn, feel the burn, feel the burn. Rotate it around and seat it in. There we go. Maybe I'll go ahead and get the top one started just so that it's taken care of and I know that the holes are lined up. Magnet time. Ooh, light even comes off. Oh shit, where are you? Somebody want to make $1 million? I'm telling you, invent 5 mil latex gloves that are made out of like Kevlar so that they can insulate your hands from the burning, so you can get in there and do that stuff. But it's got to be thin, like a rubber glove. It can't be the thick mechanics gloves. You can't feel anything with that. Oh, that was a bear. And we're ready for test drive number 2. No, still doing it. So at this point, we'll replace, just for the hell of it, that temperature sensor. I have no confidence in that one. Now the one thing I have not replaced in a long time, have I ever replaced it on here? I have to go back and look at my records and see if I've ever replaced it. But that's the throttle position sensor. I don't know if I've ever replaced it on this car. That could be have a bad spot in the rheostat that is causing it to send a spurious signal to the computer right around then. All right, so I've pulled the intake off again and pulled off the connector on the end of this, and so now I've just got my 3/4 inch wrench. Careful not to put my hand on everything that's scalding hot on here. Pull this out. I will probably lose a little bit of water. Actually, I may lose a lot since it's hot. So I'm going to think this through a little before I get to the end. Let's see if we can let some pressure off of here. Get a rag. Okay. It's not under pressure. So that's good. Now we should be able to take this off. So here's the old one. Just a little bit rusted up. I know I've replaced this before, I'm sure, from when I've done the water pump and the head. Antifreeze is a familiar smell in this car from all the overheating through the years. Alright, let's get the nose in this and button it up and see that this doesn't fix it. Okay, so that represents the third of the 3 sensors we were plugging in. As I suspected, 3 sensors right to left. There we go. That's how we did it. No joy on any of those 3.
That I have replaced the spark plugs. We investigated the plug wires, have not replaced them, and haven't replaced the OptiSpark or any of that. But yeah, fuel injectors, EGR, all those 3 sensors, and then now throttle position sensor, just to see if maybe there's a dead spot in the one that's on there. If that doesn't get it, then we'll probably have to start looking at some stuff with maybe the plug wires or the OptiSpark. With the pass being any indication, it should still be running good as it's cold. We'll see how it does once it's warmed up. Okay, this throttle's working. Still running good, but still cold. This is frustrating. So another failure, but we'll keep pecking away at it until finally we get it, because that thing's got to run good. All right, that's it. I'm Biff. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the better videos than this one, and we'll catch you again later. Take care.